We are going to continue our conversations with some of the very first homeschoolers in North Carolina, especially related to NCHE. And we have Walt and Sandi Goforth to talk to today. How are you guys doing?
Great.
Good.
Yeah.
Thanks for taking the time. And we'll just go ahead and tell a little bit of the surprising history that we went to church together in Boone many years ago. And so we knew each other from that and we didn't have any idea our paths would cross in this way again. So just tell me this, how did you decide to homeschool in the first place? And how did you get started?
I was a teacher and taught at a Christian school in High Point. And we had moved to Winston. So we were living in Winston-Salem. And my best friend, co-teacher in first grade from High Point, just wrote me a letter and said, I'm jumping off a cliff. I've decided to homeschool. We both got pregnant with our kids at the same time. We had 2 children born about the same time. And she said, I really would like you to listen to this program. And she sent me to Focus on the Family to the interview with the Moores, Raymond and Dorothy Moore. And so I listened to the program, but I put the letter in a drawer. The reason why I didn't show it to Walt is because it sounded a little crazy to me, and I thought he might go for it. I don't know why, but I waited a long time, and we put our oldest daughter in kindergarten. So when she was in kindergarten, we had already done 4-year kindergarten, so pre-kindergarten with her, and we started to see that she learned differently. We knew she was brilliant, off the charts, brilliant, but we saw that she was learning differently and would easily get distracted. And one day I took her lunch to school. She was doing some sort of an art project out in the hall, the only one. And she had her artwork on the floor, a big piece of paper on the floor. So she was on the floor doing her work. Well, I pulled that letter out of the drawer and I showed that letter to Walt. And he said, maybe this is what our Jessica needs. So we decided to pull her out of kindergarten, and it was a big deal. And so we got an appointment to go in and talk to the teachers, and we basically said, we've decided. It wasn't, what do you think? Because we knew that this was going to be a big deal. So we said, we've decided to pull our daughter out of kindergarten and teach her at home. And it was, oh my goodness. That ensued a lot of crazy events over the next year.
It was illegal to homeschool altogether. There's a guy got arrested for homeschooling that we knew. And so he ended up not going to jail. But they were going to put him in jail. Or either he had to put his kids in school or go to jail.
But it went to the Supreme Court. So when we
Del Conte decision.
It was the Del Contes. Okay, so the Del Contes we didn't know, but they were the case. It was a really long deliberated case by the Supreme Court. And during that time, we got hooked up, and I'm not sure exactly the connection, but there was an underground connection at the Winston-Salem Library. So people would go up to the front desk and they would say, can you, here's my name and number. Would you give my name and number to somebody who is homeschooling?
Okay.
And that's how we got involved with people there.
The secret society.
Our secret society. And the kindergarten teachers were very upset. They thought we were really harming our daughter.
Oh, yeah.
And so it was very strange. But then we began to figure out how to do it legally. They weren't arresting people, but they were investigating. We found out some people were actually able to do it through a Christian school as a covering for them. So we looked into that.
We talked to our pastor. His name was Mark Courts, and we talked to him. And he said, well, they're not going to arrest you. We're going to have 2 desks that are your desk here. It was 2 with Josh too.
At our church school.
Yeah, at our church school. And he said, if they give you any trouble, have them talk to me.
By that time, we brought our other kindergartner home. So we were homeschooling both of the kids. And as a first grader, our little girl said, now we are going to do this the rest of our lives, right? We got a lot of hoops to jump through to do that. But we were then challenged by the school board to just start our own private school in our home.
With another couple. It ended up having to be at least students that weren't in your family.
2 students had to be not in your family.
Yeah.
So we had another family.
The Gobles.
Yeah, and we called our school Windworth Valley School, and we had to have some sort of logo or heading for stationery. We did all that, and had to have inspections by the city. You
had to have a sprinkler system in your house. They were telling us all this stuff if you're cool. And we
fire exit.
Male and female bathrooms.
Yeah. We may be giving too much detail though.
That's true.
But I think that's amazing for people now to realize the extent to which parents were going through and going to be able to do this, because today it's quite easy to homeschool in North Carolina, and there are many resources and many communities to be a part of. But those first generations were very committed to doing it